From time to time, I get questions about the daily, my Mitsubishi Evolution 10 GSR. So I figured, why not let's make a video about it and go through all the modifications that have been done to the daily and show the daily some love. Let's get into it.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors, they won't let.
This is a 2012 Mitsubishi Evolution 10 GSR. It has roughly 34,300 kilometers on it. I will put up what it is in miles just so you can compare. The rear of the car is pretty much stock, OEM back bumper, OEM wing. I do run aftermarket taillights. These came with the car when I bought it from the previous seller. Not sure the brand. Did have some issues with it because it kept throwing a light on the dash saying four-wheel drive system needs to be serviced. Did some research. Shout out to the forums. Those guys helped me out. And I put a resistor in there just to help because it's LED and it took away the light from the dash. So if you have your light on your dash because you install aftermarket lights, put some resistors in there and you'll be good to go. All right, let's talk about wheels, tires, and brakes. Tires, I'm running the Sumitomo HTZ Z3. I love these tires. They're good in the rain and also in the dry. Stock wheels, I have upgraded the lug nuts. The previous owner had some aluminum lugs on there that were starting to break. So just, to make sure for safety reasons, I made sure to change them. They're stock lugs, but in black. I got them from, I believe, STM Tuned. Brembo calipers, stock. Running Hawk pads on the front, running EBC red stuff on the back. All right, for the brake rotors, I'm running DBC brakes. They're grooved and they're slotted. So I didn't go with cross drill because I've had some experience with cross drill. The holes starting to crack, especially after hard driving. So I went with the slotted rotors. One thing I did have to do with these rotors, they did not fit with the backsplash backing plate on there, so I had to remove them, install them, and I drove out, and there was just this grinding sound, and I couldn't figure out what it was until got the car back up in the air and saw that the backing plate was rubbing against the brake rotor. Removed it, haven't had any issues with it at all. The rotor is a bit thicker than the OEM rotor that when we measured them and compared them. So FYI, if you're running any DB brakes, you probably have to remove the backing plate or try to figure out a way to maneuver it or bend it so that it doesn't interfere with it. But I removed it and I haven't had any issues with it so far. Let's move on. All right, let's talk about the engine. Stock 4B11, haven't touched anything internally. There's no aftermarket pistons or aftermarket rods or anything like that. I do run an ETS upgraded intercooler piping, a K&N filter, an HKS super sequential blow-off valve. Really like that blow-off valve, along with the HKS kit for the blow-off valve. So the only major change I've made is the power steering hose. These tend to get very hot and actually start cracking, especially down here. If you can see that I'm running two different hose clamps on it just to keep it secure, because then it will start to draw air into the line and then you get that whiny power steering pump. So highly recommend changing this OEM pipe here. It's rubber, so you can find it, for the stock Evo engine, no problem. I also changed some lines underneath the cover here for the fueling. These lines were looking a bit old, so I upgraded them, changed them out, and everything else was good. No need to change any coils or anything like that. So yeah, that was pretty much what I had to do from the engine standpoint. For the clutch and the pressure plate, I'm running an XED Stage 1, and I am also running a ACT chromoly flywheel, which definitely helps with acceleration. So other modifications include an ACT chromoly flywheel, which is very helpful for acceleration. I'm running a Stage 1 XED clutch, had to replace the OEM one after getting it from the previous seller. And I am also running some beat brush bushings on the back on the diff. Those help a lot with the acceleration and the clunking from any, hard shifts. The car also has some new bearing hangers for the prop shaft. I will link to the company that I got them from. They're aftermarket, they aren't OEM. So it's kind of a do-it-yourself install. Also changed out the Evo 10 OEM clutch cylinder, master cylinder, because there have been reports of the plastic Evo 10 casing cracking after a while. So I actually upgraded to an Evolution 9, which is metal. It's a metal cylinder and it's fitted into the OEM body, if that makes sense. So I changed that, and I also run a stainless steel clutch line and a new slave cylinder back when I changed the clutch and everything. I just did everything one time. I'm running NGK spark plugs Iridium. They have been great. I haven't had any issues with them. And I also did some work on the exhaust system as well, running Magnum catback exhaust. That has been good as well. Not too loud, but still gives you, that aftermarket sound. So I'm very comfortable with that, especially being my daily. I did also run wastegate pressure just to, try and save some gas here and there. So I'm running just about 11 or 12 psi a boost. I'm not trying to, stress the stock internals or the stock turbo. I will tune the car probably sometime in the future, and then we'll see what kind of boost levels we will be able to run. So for suspension, I am running the K-Sport kit. It's coilovers, 16-way dampening. A bit stiff for the road, if I'm being completely honest, especially the roads here, where I'm from, here in Jamaica.
Bruh.
It is good, very good on cornering. It's more track focused, I would say. Not as smooth as probably the Fortune Autos that are on the RX-7. The Blitz that are on the Supra is way more extreme than these K-Sports. But for a daily, it's okay. Wish it was a little bit softer, especially for daily driving. But other than that, no complaints. It's held up pretty well. Been through some rough roads, and the shocks are fine, springs are good. So, what are the future plans for the daily? I do want to get some work done. I'm running full white line bushings on the front end, everything anti-roll, all those kits. I got them from White Line. Really good. Some of them unfortunately went bad, so I'm going to be changing to White Line again for some bushings to be replaced. So that's coming up. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably have a friend of mine who has a garage and a lift and a press to press out the bushings. I'll probably get them to do it. I also plan to do some paint work on the car. Some areas are fading a little bit, so just to give it some fresh, paint, and get that new look coming back to the car, and then probably some new tires. Regular servicing, brake fluid, oil change, filter, and stuff like that. Most of that stuff I'll be doing on this channel, so stay tuned for that as well. But thanks for tuning in to the daily. I believe dailies need love too. So be sure to check out our other videos. We have Supra RX-7 in our lineup of cars, and we have some other cars coming up as well. So if this is the type of content that you like to see, please consider subscribing. It helps us out a lot. If you're interested in any of our merch, we have our merch at ModzCity.com. So please check that out. It helps us out tremendously. And thanks for watching. And until next time, drive safe.